Today I'm going to show you how to publish your book manuscript and cover to Amazon's KDP in minutes. And while I've got your attention, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up for this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified with more videos like this. Thank you. So let's get started. What you want to do is, in Google search or other search bar, type kdp.amazon.com and you'll be presented with this page. Right, you're presented with these options. Sign in with your Amazon account, if you have one, and if you don't have one, sign up. So let's get this out the way first. I'm showing you how to upload your manuscript, presuming you already have a KDP account. But if not, you can create one quite easily. You can sign in with your Amazon account if you have one, and don't worry, Amazon treats your usual buying selling account differently than your KDP account once that's signed up, even though you're using mostly the same details. So if you make a bit of a mess on your KDP account, and God forbid you get that taken away from you, you won't lose your Amazon buying and selling account, your usual account. That's what I'm told. I have not experienced that yet, so I can only go off information I've heard myself. But hopefully you won't make a mess of your KDP account and you'll keep things right. You'll do what Amazon wants you to do, and you won't infringe in any way. Once your account has been set up, you'll be required to sign in. Now, whether you've chosen to use your usual sign-in details for your Amazon buyer-seller account, or if you've signed up for the KDP account separately, you will be required to sign in. So we'll do that. Once in, and it's bookshelf that you're looking at. This is the bookshelf, and this is where it shows all your books. So you've now got choices: ebook, paperback, hardcover, and for this example I'm clicking paperback. But first, there's a couple of points I'd like to make about your signing up for KDP. People get a little bit confused with the tax codes and things like that, and banking and all kinds of stuff. And if it's not a business already, and it's just at this moment a hobby, or you're just starting out, even if you want it to be a business at some point, I would suggest that you just kept it personal. So anything in your application that suggests, are you private or personal or a business, I would go with private, personal. I'd stick to that side of things when filling out your forms. You can always open up as a business in the future if your business takes off, maybe a year or two down the road, or when you've hit a certain figure. So keep it simple. People get confused with the tax codes, and in the US you have a tax code, in the UK you have a tax code, and in all countries really you're going to probably have a tax code, and that's what you need to enter in when it asks you what your tax code is, or tax ID. In the UK you can use your national insurance number. Paperback. Now, I've previously filled all this out, but I'm just going to go quickly through it with you. And I'm using my children's book, A Sloth for All Seasons. So, book title. Language, obviously English for me. A Sloth for All Seasons is the title. You can't change this. Once you've got this in and you've uploaded the book, this cannot be changed. So you've got to make sure your spelling's right and your title's right. Make sure there's a keyword or two in there, like I've got the sloth. So anyone looking for sloth books, you know that keyword's gonna hit there. Same with the subtitle. You can put your keywords in subtitle, but make sure it's readable, and use commas rather than full stops, so it's all one sentence rather than individual words. And really don't clutter it. Make it a readable sentence, like follow Simon, the happy sloth, as he leaves the forest home to experience the 4 seasons in other countries. It's readable. It's not sloths. I love sloths. It's not all that kind of rubbish. Make it a nice readable sentence. Again, you won't be able to change that, so simply put that in. It's not part of a series at this point for you. Edition number, again, you can put anything, you can put that in if you want, but I never do. Author, this is where you'll put your name. Contributors, if someone else has done your illustrations, you put their name there. If not, and you've done everything yourself, just leave it blank. Or if they've added images or text, or they've taken part, they've actually helped write the book, put them in there. You don't have to, but if they requested or you feel like you should, put it in there. And this is where you add a description. Now you've got source. Now I've used HTML, and I've got a video on that, which I'll link at the end of this video, to help you create a HTML listing, so you can use little icons and larger text in sections and things like that. And that's kind of how it will look, although the spacing will be narrower on the actual listing. But the HTML video will help you create some nice descriptions ready for when it's time to upload your manuscript and cover. Yes, I own the copyright, but yes, you own the copyright because you've created the book, and that's it. Keywords. I keep a lot of keywords simple. Now you can fill up a couple of these with all kinds of words, and Amazon will pick these words and shuffle them about. Now you notice I've put sloths in a lot of these. Now you don't have to do that, but I like to use the whole group of words as one keyword. So picture books about sloths as a keyword, in case somebody types that in directly. And the last one, you can add lots of different things if you want, for parents, for kids, and just fill it up with all kinds if you can't think of anything to say. And the same with any others. But that choice is yours, and you can always go back in the future if you're not doing too well and change all your keywords about. Categories. You click on the categories and you can choose which category your book's best suited. It's really quite simple. You get 2 choices, and you can add another 8 more categories, but not here. And I'm going to do a video later on about how you can request to add more categories. It's a children's book, so I've clicked large print. Does this book contain language, situations, or inappropriate, or anything inappropriate for children under 18? Nope. And you've done that basically. That's quite straightforward. So you save and continue. Right, your next page. Assign me a Kdp Isbn. And this is the number. This is the number that goes on all books, whether printed through Kdp or independently. And you can buy these numbers and use your own ISBN, and an ISBN is basically an international standard book number, so it's a global thing, so it's not just through Kdp. So yeah, you can buy your own, but you can look online how to buy them if you want, if you prefer to do that. Yeah, it might give you some more options in the future, but I have a feeling you're going to sell more books through Amazon than anywhere else. It does come in handy if you want to print off your own books and try to sell them to bookshops and things like that. You'd probably want to go with your own ISBNs. And that's something else I'll show you in the future. So anyway, I usually always go for assign me a free Kdp ISBN. So I click on that and it assigns it automatically. Publication date, just leave that unless you plan on not publishing your book for for days or months or down the road, and then you can set a date. Choose your print options. Now, because it's a children's book for me, with lots of full colour pages, I go for premium colour interior with white paper. Trim size. You take note of all these as well. Once your book's published, you can't make any alterations where it says you can't make any alterations. Choose your trim size. That's your internal manuscript pages. Bleed settings. I've gone for bleed, and you can only use a PDF if you're using bleed, and the bleed basically is all the way to the edges. I want glossy for the cover. That's actually quite nice, but I do like glossy when it's children's books because fingerprints and stuff like that can get all wiped off quite easily. Upload your manuscript. So you click on that, upload your PDF. Now you can use other documents like Word, HTML, but to be honest with you, PDF works. Book cover. Now I've created this book cover in a PNG, so I've uploaded that. That was successful. Now you could use a PDF, and most people do, but I'll use either depending on the book, but I actually like the versatility of uploading an image rather than the PDF. Launch previewer. So once the print preview page has opened, you're presented with this. And you'll notice that there's no exclamation marks or no issues here. If the sizing would be wrong, it would let you know that there'd be an exclamation. You wouldn't be able to approve the book. So that's the cover. Now we just flick through, make sure all the pages are okay. You can see my copyright information. There's not an awful lot there. I like to keep it simple. So everything's looking okay. Yeah, so everything's looking great, and once I'm happy, I'll click approve, and I'm taken back to this page where we launch the previewer. Save and continue. Right, okay, your last page is the royalties page. I hold all the distribution rights. It's my book. I've created everything about it, and all territories worldwide gets ticked. Primary marketplace, I always click Amazon.com, but that doesn't stop the book from going out to all the other marketplaces. It's the biggest market, so you'd like to think that you were targeting that one primarily, but it's all pretty much an equal thing. I sell most of my books in the UK, even though I click the Amazon.com. Pricing, royalty, and distribution. Now I'll always go with expanded distribution on children's books or any books of substance. I wouldn't bother with a line journal or low content, no content books. But with the expanded distribution, there's always a chance that your book might reach retailers. Other companies such as Barnes & Noble may purchase from Amazon half a dozen or a dozen of the book to try out on their online store or in their shops, and it's always worth keeping that. Okay, you don't get as much in the way of royalties. For example, this book in .com is $9.99. The royalty is $2.34. If I go expanded distribution, any book sold in expanded distribution will give me a royalty of just 35 cents. But that's okay, because if your book makes it big with a retailer like Barnes & Noble or some big bookstore, you could sell thousands of copies. I mean, that's the goal, isn't it? So yeah, I keep that on if I can, but it ups the price. You have to have a minimum price then. If I was to take that off, I can lower the price of the book to $6.08. With it on, I have to sell the book for $9.13 minimum. So you have to sort of weigh that up. You know, is it worth expanded distribution if your book's going to be too expensive. So right, I like my children's books and they're worth what they're worth to me, and I use expanded distribution. So the printing cost is $3.65. The rate is 60%, sold through Amazon. The royalty is $2.34. And again, expanded distribution, the rate is 40%, and the royalty is 35 cents, which, like I say, it's low, but if it hits the big time, it'll be worth it. And it's extra money anyway. You know, even if you get the odd 35 cents, you know, it's better in your pocket. It sells for $5.99 in the UK. The minimum I could sell it for was $5.13, so I like to round it off with the 99. I mean, it's just something that retailers do, so why not? Printing cost is £2.05. My royalty for that book is £1.54, which might not sound like a lot, but if you sell 1,000 books, you're not doing so bad. So 40% in the expanded distribution gives me 35 pence. And where it says not offered in this marketplace, this is the expanded distribution side of things. It's not your book, so don't worry about that. It's only for expanded distribution. These are the two places it's available right now, and who knows in the future. So go through, adjust all your prices to try and get a similar royalty amount, and that's it. Publish your book. Once Amazon have approved it, that's how it looks. It's live. I've done a Kindle version of the book. Paperback, you can do the same. So when a customer visits, they see that the title, A Sloth for All Season, the subtitle follows straight after, and it runs well. And the description using the HTML looks really well. I've got a little sloth hanging up there. Again, I can show you how to do that with the HTML video.